I'm Stefan Lombard with Hagerty, here today with arguably the sexiest thing on four wheels, a 1963 Corvette. Built from 63 to 67, it's the second generation C2 mid-year Corvette, whatever you want to call it. It's a fantastic car. But there are things you need to know before you buy one so that you know you're getting exactly the car you're paying for. Now, one of the coolest things about the 63, kind of makes it iconic, is this split rear window. It was a one-year only thing. It always make the 63s that much more desirable over, say, a 64. The 65s, you start to get into the big blocks, so that's a different story. But if you're looking for the iconic mid-year Corvette, you're probably thinking of 63. The car sits down on a perimeter frame instead of sitting on top of the frame like the first generation. In the coupes, rigidity was improved 90% over the previous car. Convertibles, less so, about 10%. And even though these cars are fiberglass, and you don't have to worry about rust there, the frames are steel, and the substructure, or bird cage, within the cabin is steel as well. And if you're going to find rust on these cars, it's going to be in the frame or that substructure. You can't really tell, looking at the outside of the car, if there's rust in there, but water could get up underneath this windshield. If you want to look at the headliner in the car, if there's signs of water damage, or maybe even the smell of mildew, that could be a sign that water has gotten in there and rotted that substructure. So if the car you're looking at does show signs of water getting in under the windshield, and you suspect that there might be rot beneath the cowl or up in this substructure, walk away from the car. It's going to be a lot of money to try and fix that. And if you're looking for a driver, you don't want to mess with that. Another place to check for rust on these cars is in the rear suspension, particularly the rear trailing arms on either side. Something to keep in mind with these fiberglass bodies is that it's not all one piece. There were several panels that were put together with bonding strips. And one example of those is up underneath this rear wheel well. You can feel in there, and there's a little seam. And what you want to be looking for in the surface of the car is signs of cracking where those panels come together. One final thing to check on the outside of these cars is these pop-up headlight motors. A lot of times they fail, or one headlight comes up or goes down before the other, so you kind of get that winking look. So you're going to want to make sure to check those and make sure that everything works as it should. Just like that. And these cars came with a range of engines. So let's pop the hood and talk a little bit about what was available. So you really had some great choices depending on how much power you could handle versus how much you could afford. There are no bad Corvette engines, and they came either with carbs or with Rochester fuel injection, but after 65 the fuel injection went away and they were carbs only. They are stout mechanically, they're easy to work on, they're easy to rebuild and fairly inexpensive to rebuild. So that's one of the nice things about these cars. For as exotic as it looks, it's very conventional mechanically. Now when we're talking about Corvettes, one of the biggest factors is numbers. It's totally a numbers game, and there are so many numbers on this car and so many codes to decipher, it would make an IRS agent go crazy. But what you want to do, if originality matters to you, is start comparing all the major components in the engine bay had casting numbers from the factory. And you can decode all that stuff, or have an expert who can decode it for you, to make sure that the engine and the transmission that are in the car you're looking at came with that car. You want to make sure that part numbers are correct, the clamps are correct, all that stuff. For some people that's very important. If you just want a driver that works and goes, it's less important, but it's still something to think about. Now these weren't just plain Jane bare bones sports cars. You could spec these with a lot of different options. Convenient stuff like air conditioning, tilt steering, AM/FM radio, but also performance upgrades like a positive traction rear axle, heavy-duty brakes, heavy-duty suspension, and also a 36-gallon gas tank. And those cars are called tankers. Now all these options add up, and they add value to a Corvette, so it's very important to know how the car came from the factory when you are looking at one. And so in addition to all the numbers, there's a lot of paperwork involved. Corvettes with paperwork will bring more money than cars without. While numbers are important with Corvettes, what I'm really concerned about right now is how this thing drives. So let's take it out, let's listen to it, let's feel the acceleration, see how it handles. We can make a more informed judgment then. This 63 and the 64s that came after were equipped with drum brakes. And they're very good drum brakes. They've got great stopping power, and they actually inspire confidence. And you could upgrade those to get heavy-duty sintered metallic brakes. If if you really wanted to get on it. After 64, so the 65, 66, 67, came with four-wheel discs, and that was a big step up from the drums. So these cars, as well as they go, have always been meant to stop with equal fervor. Of course, no one bought these cars for the brakes, really. One of the just absolutely fantastic things about these Corvettes, they make me giddy, is that in a time when Jaguar was giving you a 265 horsepower E-Type, and that was it, and Ferrari was giving you a 300 horsepower 275 GTB, and that was it, that was your output. That's where the Corvette was starting. It was 250 in the base motor, or 300 after that, but you could go all the way up to 430, 435 by 1967 with the big blocks. So it's kind of a way for Chevy to just kind of say, screw you, sports car world. We've got a variety. You could pick your poison. And they were all so poisonous. God, that's nice. The balance that you get from a Corvette, and even in a 300 horsepower car like this is almost a perfect car. All the power you could hope for, but the way it's delivered through the rear wheels is it's confidence inspiring. You don't ever feel like you're going to lose control if you mash the throttle. The car stays planted, so it's a very enjoyable car to drive. And that's always kind of been the mantra for the Corvette. They wanted people to drive these cars and enjoy them and have a smile on their faces just from the sheer visceral experience. And it's hard not to like a car like that. One of the nice things about these C2 Corvettes is despite their low, lean, mean appearance, there's actually a lot of headroom in them, which is great for a taller guy like me, and even people who are taller than me. Although I would recommend the tilt steering, because with the fixed steering column, getting in and out of these things and wedging your legs underneath the wheel, it's a little annoying, but it's a small price to pay for the experience. And the steering itself, it's a recirculating ball system, which is a big improvement over the worm and roller system that was in the first generation. These are really quite easy to steer. And the great thing about these big American V8s, even the small block V8s, is it's just power on demand. And you get fantastic access to this horsepower from way down low in the rev range all the way up to rev line. And of course that only increases the bigger the engine you got. It's a really nice feeling. Just have it right at the palm of your foot, so to speak.